Alright. Good morning or afternoon or whatever time you guys are watching this video. My name is Mark Gaming and I'm going to be bringing you guys things all Animal Crossing. Now, to start off this channel with my very first video, I thought what would be a better way than taking you on a tour of my 5-star rated islands. Bring up my maps, that way you guys can see the layout of what's going on here. If we take a look, we have one of our first villagers, or my personal favorite, being Octavian, a red octopus. I like him because he's red, I like him because he's an octopus, and he's just overall a pretty awesome guy. We head down here, we see that we've got our next little character. We've got Sparrow. His little creepy eyes give me nightmares, but at the same time, I wouldn't have it any other way. We see that we've got Buck and Phoebe, who are my original first two villagers. They will stick with me all the way to the end. I will never let them leave. We also have Lobo, a cranky kind of wolf. He's pretty cool, pretty chill. I like him. We have the cute Tutu, who is all things pink. We've got the very motherly, very kind Cecilia, being the eagle here. We've got Brocolio, a very cute, lazy mouse. Lopez, a very sassy but awesome little deer guy, and my personal absolute 100% favorite Animal Crossing villager here, we've got Goldie. One thing to know about me is that I love dogs, I love golden retrievers, and so therefore I love Goldie. Now, to talk to you guys a little bit about the inspiration behind my island, a couple things to note here is that my personal kind of like style, or something that I try to strive for, is symmetry. So you can see that with the way that I reflected the rivers on my island. There are certain parts that don't match, but overall there is this symmetry that goes kind of into my island. On top of that, I wanted to bring an island that had a lot to do, but at the same time did not feel cramped, or that things were just kind of thrown into a spot just to have them thrown in there. I don't know about you guys, but some of the things that I've seen on YouTube, it just seems like it's really crowded. So I wanted to bring something that had a lot to look at, but at the same time still felt kind of free and open to explore. Other important things to note here is up in the top left, we have one little village, and then down in the bottom right, we have another little larger village. And if you notice in the middle, up at the very top, we have my museum. With how important the museum is in the game and how much I love collecting things, I really wanted to dedicate a good portion of my map to bringing a really cool, awesome looking museum. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So to start off this tour, we're going to be heading over to the right side of my island. And we can see that over on this side, we have just a quick little orchard. We've got pears, we've got cherries, and we've got oranges. There is a second orchard on the other side of the island that has the apples and the peaches. But overall, I just wanted to make something a little bit kind of community-wise over on this side. Another thing that you guys might notice right away is that I do use the custom patterns of the streets. This is actually not the first time that I've attempted to use streets in Animal Crossing, but it is the only time that I've liked the way that they looked. I'm really happy with how these street patterns kind of came out, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Now, if we head up to the very top portion of this first little section, we also see that I have a bus stop. So I create a little bus stop for people to sit on the benches if they're needing to go somewhere. We've got street lights to keep it all lit up, a little clock to go with it, a telephone booth, so that way people can make calls if needed, and vending machines if they're trying to get a snack or if they're waiting for a bus or anything like that. I'm really happy with the way that this turned out. I like the pattern, like the brick, and overall, I like it. Now, if we take a look at the actual little village that I created here for the first 6 villagers, all of my villagers were given the same amount of land and kind of have a similar theme kind of going along with them. One of the things that I also wanted to make sure that I did when I made my island was to give kind of a little yard to each of my villagers. There were a lot of videos that I saw where the villagers didn't really have any kind of space to kind of customize or entail to their personality. And so I wanted to make sure that I had included that when I made this first little village. So we can see here that if you head back here, this actually takes you into their backyard. And each of these backyards has something customizable, a little bit different, that kind of goes along with their personality. So for example, Toot Toot, she's very, very cute. I gave her just some fountains and other little cute things to have in her yard. Another little thing that I also did as a detail for each of their yards was, since there are 6 villagers in this little town or in this neighborhood, and there's 6 different fruits, each of my villagers got a different kind of fruit tree. So Goldie, who is a golden retriever, I gave her oranges, kind of match her colors. Tutu, who loves all things pink, was given peaches. We've got Buck over on this side, who's a little bit more hard-headed, who also has a beachfront kind of house, so I gave him the coconuts. And then back here, Lobo, hi Lobo, this being his house, I gave him apples. This one didn't really go with his personality, just had to find a spot for apples. Over here, we've got Phoebe, the fire phoenix, who is all red and orange and colorful, so I ended up giving her cherries to go along with that. And finally, we have Sparrow, who I ended up giving the pears, because again, I had to find a spot for the pears. But overall, I'm very happy with the design of this little village. It did take up a little bit more room than I was wanting, but overall, I still feel like it turned out great. Now, if we head up here, we'll go through this path towards the end, because that actually takes you to my all-time favorite part of my town. But next door, we have a little customized cafe, a little outdoor cafe. You can see that there's a couple of things put on the booths here. We've got a menu, and we have a real Van Gogh painting. That is a genuine Van Gogh. Blathers has confirmed it, and I just think that it looks really, really good with this little outdoor cafe. Over on this side, we have a little pond that's attached to, so that way I can fish for the animals or the fish that are inside of the ponds, and that way I can get stuff from there. Now, if we head down here, this actually kind of takes us to the end of this first little neighborhood with these first 6 villagers. And so on the left side of the island, I wanted to have a little bit more of a woodsy kind of theme. Since this was very kind of street-like and developed, I wanted to make sure that my other side kind of held true to my past Animal Crossing games and experiences. So over on this side, it's a little bit more woody. They've got dirt paths instead of roads, and this is actually where my shops are. So we've got Able Sisters, where I gave them some bushes on the outside, some customized outfits out here that they can wear, and things like that to advertise for the Able Sisters. We also have Nook Cranny. So Timmy and Tommy, I'm in the process of building an outdoor diner to go along with them. The only thing that I'm actually currently missing is to find the diner counter. So if you have a diner counter and you wouldn't mind us either doing a trade or a cataloging time, let me know, and I'd be more than happy to try to do that with you. We can get something set up. Okay. Now, to add a little bit more of a decoration and bring a little bit of color into this portion of the island, down here, I actually ended up building a rather large fountain pond. So this pond here is functioning. It is big enough to hold fish when they spawn. And then I just put a couple islands on the center or the middle parts with 2 fountains. I really, really like when the fountains go off because they shoot water up at the top. I think it looks really cool, especially on this kind of view and it being at night time. All right. So the last portion of this main part of the island is then my second orchard. It is not nearly as big as the orchard on the right side because it only has 2 different fruits, but it kind of needed to be a little bit small because there are only 2 trees and I wanted to have enough room for Timmy and Thomas. So we've got our apples and we've got our peaches here too. Okay. When we head up here along this dirt path, we can actually take a left up in this section and we can see that there are 2 bridges that take you to 2 different parts of this island. We'll go ahead and go to the left side first, and then we'll head down to the right. Now, a little bit of a disclaimer. As I said earlier, this island is not 100% complete. I am still in the process of trying to make edits or changes to it. So if you think of something or you have an idea that you would like to see me try out, please let me know too, and I'd be more than happy to look at that. Now, one of the things that I am in the process of doing is building an outdoor Zen garden, which is going to be taking up this space here. I do need to move my campsite, so just keep that in mind. But overall, I'm kind of liking how this is starting to turn out. We have these two little guard entrance dogs. There'll be more bamboo that's planted in this section here. And I just really like the kind of like stone outdoor stuff, the store furniture to go along in here. Now heading down through here and taking a left instead. This will actually take you to my second neighborhood. So I like to think of this as being my little bit more of a ritzy part of town. These people are some of my all-time favorite villagers. I like a lot of these people, and I wanted to make sure that they had a little bit of something special. I also liked the idea of having a neighborhood that was built on 2 different levels as opposed to it being all on one level of land. So just like in the other neighborhood, they also get their own little yard with things that go into their kind of personality. And so forth. So we got here Lopez's house. He's got a grill, a lawnmower, and when he likes to relax, because he kind of likes to sit back and read, he's got a little coconut drink too. We also see on this side Celia, being one of the first villagers that actually moved to my town. She was always gardening my flowers in my yard, so I wanted to make sure that she had her own garden, so that way she would at least stay out of mine. So she's often found in this spot just watering these flowers and smelling and looking at the books and all that stuff. Heading down here, we've got Octavian, the red octopi, or the red octopus. He also has a couple little flowers because he gets kind of cranky. He also needs a place to relax and chill. So I've provided that for him too. Alright, so this is my second neighborhood. Oh, and forgot here, we've got Brocolio, the little mouse with bangs. He is an all-time lazy villager, and in the back here I provided him with a little bit of a hammock, so that way he can lay down and relax. Now if we look here, there is a little bit of an opening, so that way if you need to get into the Zen garden from the neighborhood, you are able to do that. They actually all have their own little openings in the backyard that takes them to some other portion of the island. Now, heading up to the very top, this is a little bit overgrown. This was where I was breeding my rare flowers. I've kind of neglected it over a couple of weeks, so a bunch of flowers have kind of spawned, so I do need to go through here and clean it up. But this is the area where I am breeding my flowers. Off to the left side, so that way the villagers in this neighborhood can get down to the beach. We've got a staircase coming down here. And then if you actually go through Octavian's backyard, there's another path here too to take you to a separate set of staircases, so that way my villagers can have access to their beach. Now, as I said, this village is not complete, so I am in the process of building my beaches. Nothing is currently there yet, but expect an update in the future with that on there. Okay, so that takes you through the left side of this island. Now, if we head back down towards the main portion, and this time we take a right, we're actually going to head into my park. So, in this park, I provided a path that goes around in a circle. So, if you're a villager that likes to go for a run, you have a little track that you can do that. So, you can run through here. There's also a farmer's market, a place where I can trade items, and overall, if you're wanting to sell something, just to have that there. We've got a seating area with, again, vending machines and a little kiddie park for anybody who wants to go on a slide or ride the horses or play in the sandbox. Okay, I'm actually going to take you through to this side and head back up. I want to show you one of my favorite views. For a while when I was playing, or when I had built this, for some reason this path was one of my all-time favorite views. I really, really liked the azaleas. I liked the pinks and the purples. I liked how the colors all kind of came together. And overall, just with the diagonal of the bridge, I just really like how this looks. This path, again, of course, takes you up here, which then heads back into that part that I just showed you. Now on to my house. Heading up through here, through the bus stop, will actually find a little bit of a pathway. It is in the process of growing, but it will take you to a pathway that then heads into my personal house. Now, there's nothing really going on inside. I haven't had a chance to build that up yet, but that will be coming soon. But we can see here that I actually built this into my hill, so I dug this all out. I included a little waterfall off to the right, so that way it's all kind of peaceful and calm. We have a seating area if you're wanting to come out here in the morning, have some coffee, do whatever. And then if you actually follow into the back part here, there's a secret little opening that takes you to my private island, or my private little beach. I really like this spot. I like how my house kind of turned out. I think it looks great. The other thing that I also like that I included here, and to be honest, it kind of scared me a couple times when I was playing it, I put a tarantula statue, and again, to be honest, when I was playing this a few times, I kind of forgot I did that, so I always got a little paranoid or jumped when I saw that there was a random tarantula there, but now since calmed down a little bit. I also put here a couple pairs of boots, because right now I'm trying to catch the flies. They're not going to stay there. I'm just trying to find a way to catch the flies. Okay. The top right side of my island, I am in the process of building, so expect an update for that too. Now heading to the last portion of my island, this was the very first thing that I ended up building when I started terraforming. At first I was a little scared that I was going to mess it up, but overall I am very, very happy with the way that this turned out. When you head up here through this path, we have a little bit of a land bridge that connects you to an outdoor plaza. Now, as I said, the museum is one of the most important things to me in Animal Crossing because I really enjoy collecting all the bugs, the fossils, the paintings, and all of that stuff, the fishes, and all of it. That I wanted to make sure that the outside looked just as cool as the museum does on the inside. So I have two double waterfalls on both sides that actually fuel my river. So this is kind of the start of my river. And we also have a little waterfall in the back here to kind of make it look a little bit more like a fountain. It actually looks like one of the fountains that's in my hometown. And then if you look at from this angle, so if you stand in front of the fountain and then you push up twice, you can see that there is the complete deer fossil directly in the middle that is overlooking this plaza. I've had a few people say that they thought it looked scary, but overall I think it looks really, really cool. And then again, heading up here, we can see that this just takes you to the opening of my museum. We have the deer fossil. We've got another little waterfall that goes down into the second waterfall, and we have that mirroring on the opposite side here. Okay. So that actually does take you to the end of my island tour. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any ideas or if you would like me to visit your island to do a 5-star island review or a tour, please leave a comment down below and we can get something set up. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope to hear from you guys soon. Have a great day.